Watching with Tommy. This video is on your Smackdown spoilers and your WWE main event results. Of course, news is up first, and you got Smackdown was taped in Hershey, Pennsylvania at the Giant Center. Wonder how giant it was. Featuring the TV match is advertised as Cesaro versus Swagger. The additional advertised talent pool included Sheamus, Daniel Bryan, who wasn't at the show, Big Show, The Shield, the Wyatt family, Alberto Del Rio, Kane, Big E, and Triple H. There have been a couple of advertised dark matches for the SmackDown taping, which was Daniel Bryan and The Shield versus Kane and the Wyatt family in an 8-man tag match. It'll probably just be just the Shield versus the Wyatt. WWE Slam City, episodes 8 and 9 at this link here. Catch them all on the other link at youtube.com/user/cartoonium. CNN HLN's Nancy Grace Show is no longer planning a pro wrestling segment for Thursday show. RJ Brewer was scheduled to appear. There's no word on yet as to which death will be exploited for ratings instead of whether producers will follow through on rescheduling plans for pro wrestling segments. WWE is no longer advertising Daniel Bryan for this weekend's live events. He has been removed from the shows due to the death of his father. And again, Michael Nolan's go to his family and friends. Bryan is still scheduled to appear on Monday's Raw in St. Louis, which is the go-home show for the May 4th Extreme Rules pay-per-view. Stone Cold Steve Austin's latest family-friendly show featuring Austin sharing memories of The Undertaker and answering other questions. The most recent Unleashed show is the second part of his awesome 2-part interview with Paul Heyman. JR's new Ross Report podcast featuring Jim Cornette. Chris Jericho's Talk is Jericho podcast features Adam Carolla. Roddy Piper's latest podcast features longtime wrestler Lynn Denton, who worked as the Grappler. And you can find the Ross, Piper, Jericho, and Austin podcast at podcastone.com. TNA color commentator Taz has launched a podcast. He has stated that he will have some guests. It will not be an interview-driven show. You can check out this one at blogtalkradio.com/radio. Hall of Famer Tony Atlas turned 60 years old. Happy birthday goes to him, and of course he's a WWE Legends House participant, and he was born April 23rd. That's today's date, and in 1954, the late Terry Gordy was also born on this date, April 23rd, 1961. Died in July 16, 2001 of a heart attack caused by a blood clot at the age of 40. He was probably best known for his work as a member of the Fabulous Freebirds, who belong in the WWE Hall of Fame. And he also had a successful career in Japan. Happy birthday also goes to John Felix Anthony Cena. He turned 37 years old. He was born April 23rd, 1977. WWE's longtime franchise player has been wrestling professionally since 1999. He signed a developmental deal in 2001, if you didn't know, and debuted on the Smackdown TV show on June 27th, 2002. And if you didn't know, you better call somebody. WWE NXT star Sawyer Fulton noted on Twitter yesterday that he was dropping fellow NXT star Cal Bishop off at the hospital for surgery. No word on what kind of surgery he suffered. Bishop's real name is Clayton Jack, and he's a former Oregon State heavyweight wrestler. Noted before that the Beyond the Ring special on Edge was supposed to air last Saturday on the WWE Network, but never did. It's now confirmed to air this coming Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check your local listings on the network for that. Former Spirit Squad member Mike Mondo, Mikey, has worked for Ring of Honor and other indies since being released from WWE originally in 2008. Worked a dark match before the tapings from Hershey, Pennsylvania on Tuesday night, which he lost to Bo Dallas. Mondo tweeted after the match, "Man, it felt great to perform in a WWE ring tonight. A long time coming. Thank you for everyone's love and support. Hashtag boom, hashtag no fear." Santino Marella's Battle Arts MMA school outside of Toronto won an award for Best Fitness Club in the city of Mississauga. One reader who has done some wrestling training at the school knows that Santino is there often. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and Dean Ambrose met members of the U.S. military while WWE was in Saudi Arabia this past weekend. Got some pictures of recent photos of them, and that will be posted at the end of this video. WWE's community website has photos of the appearance, and I'll also post that as well. You can go to there. I'll also be posting it at the end of the video, so you won't have to go to that site. And the synopsis for this Thursday's new episode of WWE Legends House. The Legends play a polo match, WWE style. Back at the Legends House, Tony Atlas and Hacksaw Jim Duggan attempt to coexist. And now for your main event, live aired on the network. Of course, it's only live now because it's no longer on Ion Network. On April 22nd, 2014, from Hershey. Yes, Hershey Bar, Pennsylvania. WWE Intercontinental Champion Big E Langston defeated Alberto Del Rio. Bad News Barrett made an appearance after the match, saying Big E's days as champion are numbered. Hornswoggle defeated El Torito. Sheamus defeated Titus O'Neil. Ryback defeated Jimmy Uso. Former WWE wrestler Ezekiel Jackson, a.k.a. Rycliffe Stevens, turned 36 years old today. He was born April 22nd, 1978. Jackson recently announced that his contract with WWE expired, and he indicated that they parted on good terms. Chuck Taylor, a.k.a. Dustin Howard, turned 28. He was born yesterday, April 22nd, of course, 1986. It was his birthday yesterday. Following are the results for the NWA SAW event that took place Friday in Millersville, Tennessee. Kerry Awful and Nick Iggy defeated Nathan and Matt Starr. L.A. Shawbaz with Judas beat Toby Farley. Jeremiah Plunkett beat L.T. Falk. Kevin Weatherby with Mr. Jernigan defeated Nathan Starr. Primetime Brian Lee, if you don't remember him, Primetime Brian Lee was could have been, I think, was one of the Undertakers back in the day, and either that or Fake Ramon, Razor Ramon. And Lee Cordry defeated Kevin Stanley and Nick Zayn. Eric Andrews defeated Eric Darkstorm. Lance Erickson defeated Jason Kincaid to win the NWA Southern Heavyweight title. Thanks to Lakeisha F. Oliver for sending in the note. Results for that. No pro wrestling shows were listed for ESPN Classic from Monday through Thursday, and Global Supercard Wrestling returns with a block on Thursday night. For a report of the main event. Main event opened from Hershey, Pennsylvania with the pyro going off. Tom Phillips welcomes us to the main event and is joined in by Byron Saxton, Big E Langston versus Alberto Del Rio. We go to ring outcomes Intercontinental Champion Big E for a non-title match. Alberto was out next. They went right at it as Big E runs over Del Rio. Big E sent Del Rio over the top rope. Del Rio dropped Big E over the top rope and came back in. Del Rio with a tornado DT for a 2 count. Big E fought out of a hold but ran into a pair of boots. In the corner, more back and forth action as Big E took a pair of clotheslines. Del Rio blocked the belly and dropped Big E on his arm. Del Rio with a big super kick to the face and another 2 count. And then Del Rio comes back and nails a splash. Big E dropped the straps but Del Rio blocked the big ending and kicked him in the back of the head. Del Rio with a 2 count. Big E blocked cross arm breaker. Del Rio goes for another tornado DDT, but it's blocked. And then Big E nailed the big ending for the win. After the match, Bad News Barrett appears high upon his podium. He's got some bad news. I'll have some decorum, please. I got some bad news. Barrett says Big E has 12 days left as champion. He says Big E has been a horrible champion and has no personality. Barrett says he's teetering on boredom and is one-sided. Barrett says Big E has a complete lack of intellect and reminds him of the audience. As the fans boo Barrett, Barrett rips the fans some more, and that was it. Still to come segment was Ryback versus Jimmy Uso as we go to commercial. Hornswoggle versus El Torito was up next. Back from the break, they went to a commercial. After the break, Hornswoggle was partying in the ring with 3MB. Out next comes the Los Matadors with El Torito. They go at it, and Hornswoggle took control, but misses the splash. Torito rolled Hornswoggle up for a 2 count. Torito worked over Hornswoggle over by his arm. Torito gets a pin attempt and some counters on the mat. Torito hits a drop kick as Heath Slater tries to coach Hornswoggle. Hornswoggle lifts Torito high and slams him on his face. Hornswoggle with a nonchalant pin for a 2 count. Hornswoggle with a headlock. Hornswoggle runs into an elbow and then a boot. And Torito goes up top and nails across the body. Torito with a clothesline and drop kick. Torito tries to hit the Bronco Buster. Torito goes for his finisher, but Slater distracts him on the apron. Matadors in it, and then 3MB all argue at ringside. Torito misses his finisher. Hornswoggle goes up for a tadpole splash and nails it for the win. Then we get a look at Evolution and the Shield from Raw. And next up we got Sheamus versus Titus O'Neil. We come back from commercials. Out first comes Sheamus. And then Titus was out next. And they go at it, and Titus sends Sheamus out to the floor early on. Sheamus comes back in and takes control. They trade holds, then Sheamus goes to work on the arm. More back and forth action as Sheamus runs into an elbow, but manages to power slam Titus for a 2 count. Titus tried to do the forearms on the apron, but Sheamus isn't having it. Titus sends Sheamus to the floor again instead. Titus tosses Sheamus into a barrier and brings him back in the ring for a 2 count. Sheamus makes a comeback, but Titus catches him with a battering ram in midair and slams him for another close pin attempt. And then we get some more back and forth brawling. Titus hits a big backbreaker and covers for a pin attempt. Titus slaps Sheamus around and talks trash. Sheamus nails a headbutt and a blow kick for the win. Sheamus then celebrates with fans at ringside. Before we go to network commercials, we come back and we get a Bo Dallas promo. And we'll look at Kane and Daniel Bryan from this past Monday's Raw. And then we get Jimmy Uso versus Ryback. We come back to the arena and it's Ryback versus Jimmy Uso. Curtis Axel and Jey Uso are also at ringside to support their partners. And then we go to commercials. They go at it to start the match. After the commercial, Uso sends Ryback to the floor and leaps onto him. Jimmy goes to cover Axel as Axel makes his way over also. They come back in the ring and Uso hits kicks in right hands. Ryback with a kick to the gut and a big chop that sends Uso to the mat. Ryback kept control until Uso nails a super kick. Ryback goes to the floor to regroup with Axel. Ryback comes back in and kicks him in the gut. Ryback with more kicks and shots, beating up Uso around the ring. Uso fights back and dumps Ryback over the top rope. Uso leaps up with a splash, but Ryback catches him. Uso counters and shoves Ryback into the ring post, and then we go to commercials. And we come back, and Uso is down on the floor as the referee counts him out. Uso barely makes it back in before the 10 count, and Ryback knocks him right back out of the ring. Ryback follows and brings him back in for a 2 count. Ryback kept him on the mat. Ryback with a suplex. Ryback will had a longer suplex and another 2 count by Ryback. Ryback ready for the meat hook clothesline and nails it for a close 2 count. Uso makes a comeback, but Ryback beats him back down. Uso counters and sends Ryback into the ring post. Uso with a shot, but Ryback nails a big boot. Ryback with another 2 count. Uso counters with a powerbomb and back drops Ryback. Uso with a pair of clotheslines and a big kick to the face. Uso gets another kick and a chop. Uso hits a Samoan drop. Then goes up top and hits the Superfly Splash for a 2 count. Uso nails a super kick to the face and a rear splash in the corner. Uso goes to the top, but Ryback cuts him off. And then Uso sends Ryback back to the mat and goes for a splash, but Axel distracts him. Jay takes out Axel. Ryback knocks Jimmy off the apron and sends him into Axel and Jay. Ryback finally hits the shell shot for the win. Main event goes off the air with Ryback and Axel talking trash to the Usos. And first report for Smackdown. Thank you to Jeremy Hittenberg, who attended Smackdown taping in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Said the following report. Lights were off. We get, excuse me, rang through the Giant Center. It was easily the loudest heat I've ever heard in a long time. The only thing that the crowd really booed Paul Heyman about during his allotted debate time was the first time he mentioned his Brock Lesnar, being the one in 21-1, then proceeded to say it again and again and again about 8 or 9 times, and the crowd was completely into it and laughing it up the whole time. The crowd was then cracked up big time when he mentioned his new client, Cesaro, who won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at least 15 times. Many audible ECW and Paul E chants during that segment. Oddly enough, nobody really got behind Cesaro in the way that I think WWE wanted him to during the course of the opening match. But when the end seemed to be imminent, a King of Swing chant started up, and the place went nuts for the Giant Swing neutralizer combo finish. The Shield came out to easily be the biggest reaction of the night and laid the Smackdown on Jack Swagger. After Dean Ambrose said that they were finished, and they weren't finished, the crowd was visibly looking to the stage audience, except for them throughout the rest of the show. Bray Wyatt is just so incredibly gifted on the microphone. He cuts the best promos, hands down. Not just currently, but maybe top 5 of all time, in his honest opinion. He had the crowd in the palm of his hand, and the whole arena was singing along with him at the end. Awesome to see. Loud "This is awesome" and "Holy shit" chant for Fandango, being Triple H powerbombed off the stage. During the main event, a loud CM Punk chant started up, which Ryback turned to the crowd and yelled, "Shut up!" which was funny. Overall, it was a very enjoyable edition of SmackDown, regardless of the lack of star power. The very selfish part of me, it was disappointing that Daniel Bryan wasn't there, but I completely understand why he wasn't, and my thoughts and prayers go out to him and his family. He says the biggest pops were the Shield, and it wasn't even close. Paul Heyman, Cesaro, and JBL rounding out top 3. And Paul Heyman and Cesaro tied. Biggest heat was Vicky, and again, not even close. Number 2 was Zeb Coulter, and number 3, Ryback. And the second report for SmackDown, thanks to Zach, at Zach1012 for the following. Zach1012 on Twitter on the following for WWE SmackDown spoilers from Hershey, Pennsylvania. SmackDown opened up with Vicky Guerrero, Cesaro, Jack Swagger, Paul Heyman, and Zeb Coulter all in the ring. There were 2 podiums set up. Vicky announces the main event tonight will be the Shield versus 11 other superstars. She then announces the great debate between Heyman and Zeb. Zeb says he wants to debate with Cesaro on turning his back. Zeb asks Heyman why he stole Cesaro. Heyman said Brock Lesnar ended the streak about 20 times. Zeb asks again why he stole Cesaro. Heyman asks, when was the last time a Zeb Coulter guy won? He said by the time Cesaro won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, he was already a Heyman guy. Zeb pushes over the podium and shoves down Heyman. They start to get in the ball, but then it's broken up. Cesaro then defeats Jack Swagger with a neutralizer after the match. Shield's music hits and they come out. Roman Reigns hits a Superman punch on Swagger and then hit him with a triple power bomb. Dean Ambrose said it looked like Swagger failed to adapt. And then Tamina Snuka defeated Natalya with a kick that was botched. This match was described as not smooth at all. Backstage segment with 3MB talking about how they are in tonight's main event. The Shield shows up and destroys them. Vicky Guerrero is backstage in her office on the phone with Triple H. He asks her about the Shield. She says she called them to her office, but they didn't come. Triple H tells her to take the night off, and in comes Brad Maddox. Curtis Axel defeats Jey Uso in the next match. Wyatt family came out and cut a promo inside the steel cage that's lowered. Bray Wyatt talked about John Cena and gets the crowd to sing. Whole world in his hands with him. Eric Rowan and Luke Harper defeated Cody Rhodes and Goldust during the match. Bray taunted the crowd and asked them if they are unimpressed with what we see from the Rhodes brothers, saying they are not the future. Cody goes for a moonsault, but Goldust runs into him. Goldust gets upset, leading to him getting pinned. Backstage segment with Brad Maddox on the phone. The Shield comes in and destroys him. Ambrose jumps on Maddox behind the couch and beats him some more. Emma and Santino Marella versus Layla and Fandango was up next again. The match never starts, and that's while Fandango was dancing on the stage. The Shield attacked him. Fandango took a triple power bomb off the stage. through 2 tables. This was awesome chance started up. The Shield versus Titus O'Neil, Ryback. Alberto Del Rio, Damon Sandow, Baptist, Barrett, and Curtis Axel was up next. The Shield ended up clearing the ring except for Barrett, who ran to the back. Axel took a Superman punch. Sandow took a spear, and the Shield wins the match. Ryback and Titus also got speared. Ryback took the triple power bomb. The Shield stood tall in the ring as it went off the air for the taping and the dark match segment. After the Smackdown taping, and Hershey saw the Shield versus the Wyatt family brawl. The Wyatts got the upper hand until the Shield fought back and sent them running to end the actual show. John Cena was announced locally on Tuesday morning as Daniel Bryan's replacement for the Smackdown taping, but he didn't appear, so he wasn't used, or he was there and wasn't used. Just didn't wrestle. Well, thanks for viewing. Peace out. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Thanks again. Peace out. God bless.